Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Time for a quick shout out for a new and interesting company that I've stumbled across because, well, I'm one of those folks that is constantly on the look for something new and different because obviously that's one of the fun things about this hobby. And when somebody kind of goes against the mold or does something different, I'm absolutely going to be there to celebrate it. Sometimes it might take a while to catch on, but if I can help in any way, I'm more than happy to. And today we're going to take a look at some models that come to us from Dust Punk Miniatures. And the only way I can really describe the aesthetic of Dust Punk Miniatures is like Arrakis meets Borg. And I think that's a pretty apt description, actually. This is one of the models that first caught my eye, and it may not be the best print, and for that I apologize. But this was the Feral Trader, which kind of reminded me of, there is a Malifaux old dude hanging around on top of a clock, and I can't think of the name right now, and his hair is really strange, and it's like flat on the top. But immediately that came to mind, and it's like this wizened little old man, barefoot at that, standing on top of a sword that I would imagine is out somewhere in the desert. Can he use it? Who knows? And when I see weird, interesting figures like that, and I don't know, I don't mean weird as in like, a bad derogatory meaning, but more as in like it's going against the grain of what's typical, what's expected. And it stands out. It gives off that unique vibe. And to me, that's really what I'm looking for. And so Dustpunk has this whole little faction of figures called the Firewalkers. And so they have these nice conical cone heads, but then they have face masks with hands jabbing the eyes out. Okay. And they all have these kind of like reverse bladed sickle scythe blades. And yeah, I need to clean it up a little bit more. I haven't primed it or done anything. For whatever reason, my prints always want to come out fabulous on the front, and then it's a whole other story all on the other sides. But you can see they have these kind of still suits going on, and there were quite a variety of these fire starters that don't want to get in focus already available. They recently started up a tribe on My Mini Factory, and I'm assuming other places. I haven't even looked yet. Here we have, I want to say this was one of the Firewalker shamans or something, who doesn't want to stick to the base and is making a big stringy mess. But again, crazy conical hat. Maybe he wasn't a Firewalker and he's something completely different. And he's using like this strange baby thing tethered to his face as a weapon of some sort. And for you tryptophobes out there, I don't know what is going on with the baby face. If it's a baby, maybe it's a weapon of some sort. And he's got various pouches and blue tack, and there's just a lot going on, and I'm actually kind of shocked that I got it off in one piece, and he's got a nice vicious-looking knife there as well, and he looks like he's going to be a real challenge to actually get painted. I was going to keep these still suit-looking dudes very simple. Just weirdness. And then we have one, I think this was one of the ranked fire starters. He only has one blade, and he's got like the fancy robe here. As well as a Firewalker assassin. Again, same thing. He's got, this one doesn't seem to have the eyes gouged out. Maybe he does, and I just need to prime it to see better. But if you notice around his face there, he's got a bunch of hands holding the hood up. Just really funky and weird. I had to be really careful with these blades because, as you can see, they are quite small and thin and absolutely fragile, and I didn't want to break any. So we had the fire starters, and another fun faction that I saw in Dustpunk's stuff were the sand singers. So you can see this guy's at least got a face here. And what's interesting is that they've got no arms. They have like a stub and a little cap here. And they have sand forming various limbs to fight with. I only have one of those printed so far. And another just random figure. A lockbox cultist. Again, we've got the same, just really distinctly interesting looking faces. He's got his hands like some kind of Chinese finger trap type toy, except it does have the lockbox going on there. I have no clue what's going on with him. And to me, that's the best part. You know, when you just have some genuinely visually interesting and different models like this, I mean, absolutely my first thought is, well, hello, Necromundans. These guys would probably look great as their own official little gang in the Underhive or in the Ashen Wastes or something like that. You can paint them all kinds of weird, distinct, vibrant colors, and I'm sure they would look fantastic, especially compared to anything I come up with. Maybe that's just me being a, you know, the self-loathing artist, but I know I can be quite detrimental to my own paint jobs at times. And just taking a look at how they stack up with a couple of other random figures, because it's always helpful. Okay, the Vansar maybe is a little bit on the shorter side, but, you know, the giant pointy head isn't exactly helping. Seems to be almost eye to eye with a plastic Mantic Enforcer. If I grab an older Marine there, they look pretty similar in size. I'm hesitant to grab any of the more modern GW stuff just because I feel like it's going to be all over the place in terms of scale. You know, Primaris at least is going to be bigger than them. Let me see what else is handy. I don't know if you want them fighting orcs or like random War Games Atlantic humans. Gotta have a Bulldog handy. So, I mean, honestly, they look like they're going to fit in. And again, you know, basing is also going to play into that. But I think just in terms of size and sheer visually distinct looks to them, I think you could probably get away with using them in just about any kind of sci-fi setting. And probably fantasy settings as well, if you really want to get creative. And to me, that's the best part of these kinds of figures, is the creativity. You know, what could you possibly use them for? If you have any ideas or thoughts, by all means, please share them down below. And if you're curious to find any of these yourself, we got that link down there as well. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!